Hey guys, so we're back and I figured I would try to do my best at doing a movie review. A couple movies actually. So we went and watched 3 different horror movies last month at the theater. I've never done a video like this before. I personally don't think I'm that good at explaining things. So we're going to end up just talking about these in the order that we went and seen them. The first one was Until Dawn. The second one was Final Destination Bloodlines. And then the third one was Bring Her Back. So for starters, Until Dawn, I played the game when it first came out and I really enjoyed that game. It wasn't really like the game style that I would prefer, to be honest. It was very like prompt command heavy, you know, it tells you to push a button and you do it, that kind of thing. But I did stick with it because the storyline was just so good. And at the end of it, you know, I really enjoyed it. So when I seen that it was in theater, I was like, hell yeah, you know, the game was good. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. I tried to go into most movies with low expectations just because I don't want to be let down, you know. Even though I went into this one with low expectations, I will honestly have to say that I sat there for about, I don't know, 25-30 minutes, kind of pissed because it was so far from the game. Like, there was just nothing from the game. Every freaking thing, the cast was just not on point. The weather, the climate, everything was different, you know. It seems like it's dishonest is what I feel like it is. When something is based on the game, it should resemble the game. It should be on point. Like The Last of Us, they did amazing with that freaking show because it was to a T. Like, it was so good. Well, anyway, yeah, for about 25-30 minutes, I was pretty upset because it was nothing at all like the game. After I was able to kind of like get that aside and accept it, I guess is what I should say. After I accepted it, then I started to like look at different things in the movie and like respect it a little bit more. And I feel like this movie wasn't just like taken over very well. It seems like everybody's shitting on this film, and I want to kind of like maybe talk about some of this, being the person that's actually like played the game and watched the movie. The negatives I feel like are pretty straightforward. It's really not like the game. So yeah, the cast was just, like I said, it wasn't the same. So that's a very negative thing too. So it takes points away for that one. However, you know, as I was sitting there, I started to think, like off the top of my head, I couldn't come up with a Wendigo movie at all. Okay. And actually when I went home and I Googled it, like it was quite a few B movies. None of them were anything really to write home about, if I'm being honest. So I mean, come on, can you think of a Wendigo movie just that you would recommend off the top of your head? I couldn't even come up with one. I do feel like it deserves some points because I feel like it is kind of uncharted territory for the most part. So yeah, it wasn't to the game, but you know, we really don't have any Wendigo movies, and I feel like this is finally a Wendigo movie that finally like puts it on the charts a little bit. This is one that can be recommended. We know this one to go down as an actual Wendigo movie. So there's that one. That's just my opinion, of course. All this is just going to be based on my opinion. But, you know, after I started looking at it that way, and the way the, like, creatures actually looked were really nice. So I can't complain at all about that. If I was to kind of compare them the way they did, the Wendigo in this movie, they were very, like, man-like still. So I want to say almost like the vampires in 30 Days of Night. Not so much that they look the same, you know, but I'm saying, like, they kind of have similarities. The fact that they still look man-like, you know, but they are creepy. And these things were genuinely creepy. Like, I thought they looked great. I really did. Secondly, I enjoyed the cast, though. I didn't think I was going to. Like I said, it's because I got in my head a little bit on that. But I actually really did enjoy all the cast. I didn't want to see any of them get hurt. So, and there was quite a few of them. So there's that. Another thing about this movie I felt like it had going for it is it was very fast-paced. Once it really got started, it didn't stop. So I thought that was really nice. This movie seemed to kind of like pack a little bit of everything in it, to be honest. Like if you liked found footage movies, then it had quite a bit of that in here and a long sequence of it. So you had that, you know, it was fast paced. So you had like that. It really didn't slow down. It was like very heavy on the jump scares. So I can see how some people might not like that either. But if you like jump scares, it had a lot of it. So it really did have a lot of things going for it after I kind of opened my eyes a little bit, you know. So I don't know. I guess I don't know why people really didn't like it that much. I thought it was actually pretty decent. Overall, I left the theater actually loving this movie. I kind of wish it was already on shelves already so I could buy it and go home and watch it again to see if I missed anything. I enjoyed the way the Wendigo actually looked. I appreciated the fact that we got to see him in different forms. So it kind of like as it was evolving, So it kind of made it seem like you were meeting different or seeing different types of creatures almost. So that gave me like a cabin in the woods vibe, because it just seemed like they were all different from each other, you know, like different creatures, even though, you know, they're not, but that's just how I took it, you know, my opinion, it's what it felt like. One of the reasons I had low expectations for this movie also going into it was because it's based on the game. I figured it was going to be like really heavy with the CGI. Okay. I hate CGI. I hate it. And it blew me away because it didn't have a whole lot of it at all. As a matter of fact, I only can remember one scene, one scene, you guys, that was like off in the distance, and it like was pretty hazy, so you couldn't even make it out. So you know it's CGI, but you can't make it out, so it doesn't like ruin the movie. So I thought that was really nice. There was a ton of, everything was practical effects for the most part. Like, it was done really good. So I got to give them that. So we finally got a movie to put Wendigo on the charts. I give it extra points for that alone. I like the cast, so there's some points on that one. It was fast paced. Like I said, it had a little bit of everything. You had your jump scares, you had your found footage stuff going on there, and it was full of practical effects. So also, before we get on to the next movie, I wanted to say The Gamer. Okay, it's subtle, but you do, if you continue to pay attention to the movie, something happens and you realize, like, there it is. Okay, from the gamer perspective of this, you have to stick with it. Something happens and then you realize, okay, you know. So the gamer part of me was actually satisfied once I left the theater after I seen that part. So, but it's subtle. You got to watch it. All right, so the next movie, Final Destination: Bloodlines. This one wasn't on my radar at all, to be honest. I wasn't going to go see this one. I love the first Final Destination, okay, but I mean, let's be real, they kind of started to, and I don't know. I feel like they just keep picking up our older movies and fucking them up. It wasn't on my radar, you know. I hate to say that, but it's true. So my daughter, who's not really a horror fan, came up and she was like, hey, can we go see this movie? So I was like, well, fuck yeah, of course. I will have to say it was better than I thought it was going to be. It really was. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I went in with low expectations, and let me tell you something. Get the negative stuff out of the way first. It was very sappy, in my opinion. It was extremely sappy, almost like overacted sappy in the beginning, okay? And we're talking about this movie throughout. It was sappy when it came to relationships. It was sappy when it came to freaking family. It was just sap all over the damn place. I don't like that. I don't know. It was just very heavy sap, okay? That was kind of my number one bitch about this movie. Secondly, I did find myself losing interest about 3 or 4 times throughout this movie. Just want to say, like, all these films that we just watched are completely different from each other, so I'm not going to, like, try to compare them. But as far as, it just wasn't quite that fast paced. I will have to say it wasn't like really slow, but it definitely, like, it would have a build up and then it would drop and I'd lose interest and it would build up. I will have to say, like, the downtime on those wasn't very long. Something would happen and, you know, it'd pique my interest again. But I did find myself losing interest a few times. So that was kind of disappointing. Of course, CGI. It was very CGI heavy, but it wasn't like bad CGI. And if you think about the first Final Destination, you know, and the freaking electricity on the floor and all that shit. So I knew it was going to have CGI in it. I mean, it's a Final Destination movie. So it wasn't too bad, but it did have quite a bit in it. So there's that. So the positives for this movie, in my opinion, I enjoyed the oldest brother. He was so funny. Typically, I hate comedy in my horror. Like, I like serious, scary horror. If I'm going into a horror movie, I want it to be bothered. I want it to be, like, scared or, like, disturbed or something. I want it to feel, you know, I don't know, like anxious or something. And when you get comedy and horror, I feel like it's like farting during sex or something. It just kills the fucking mood. I hate comedy in my horror. I'm sorry, but it's just a no-go for me, okay? I enjoy The Oldest Brother, though. Surprisingly, even though I do not like my comedy in it, I enjoyed The Oldest Brother. He was funny as hell. He was just an instant like. I guess the most important thing about this film was the kills. Oh my God. This movie went hard. Like, I didn't expect it to go so hard. It was pretty freaking brutal, to the point where, like, these kills, like, a lot of them, it's like gritting my teeth on some of them. My freaking knees were kind of weak on some of them. My stomach would flop. Like, I'm not the biggest puss, okay? Like, I can take quite a bit of this stuff, but just some of it was just, I didn't expect it to go so hard. I think that's what shocked me. Like, it was brutal, man, and it was great. So yeah, the kills made up for everything in this movie. I will probably buy this one when it comes out, just because I have the rest of them and I don't want to not have one of them, you know what I mean? But I don't think I'll like go and like watch it right away. I'm glad I watched it. I am. I'm just, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite, so there's that one, but it was still good. It was definitely worth a watch for sure. So the last one, okay, Bring Her Back was the last one we went and seen, and I went into this movie doing exactly what I hate doing. It was the most anticipated movie of the year for me. I loved Talk to Me so much. Like, I instantly fell in love with that movie when I watched it. There's just like a certain feel that these movies have, and it's very disturbing. It's like bleak, depressing, almost like there's like, no matter, like, I don't know, how would you describe, it's heavy. Like, the atmosphere in the movie is very heavy. It's almost like sorrowful. Like, no matter what you do, there's just, it's not getting better type of thing. It's bleak, you know. I love those type of movies and the overall feel. I would enjoy more horror movies to have the overall vibe of that, you know. So I went into this movie with the highest expectations, and I always try not to do that, but I couldn't help it this time. And let me tell you something though, this movie did not disappoint. It was everything I wanted, expected, and then even more on top of that. Like, I don't know who does these movies, Talk to Me and now Bring Her Back. I'm going to have to do some research on whoever it is, because I'm an instant fan, man. Like, these movies are dark. It was like genuinely scary too. Let me just say, there was absolutely no jump scares, okay? It was all practical effects. There was no CGI whatsoever. And it still remained scary. And we're talking about like some of the simplest type of, I say simple but not simple. What I mean by that is there's nothing jumping out at you to make it scary. It could be just you looking at a screen and something looking back at you, and it's genuinely fucking scary. This movie was so well done. I love it. It made it to like one of my top favorite movies, and I don't want to like overhype it. I don't want to overhype it for anyone. Just know that. If you like Talk to Me though, I do feel like there's a high chance that you'll like this one. It is definitely, I think, more brutal. It's heavier for sure, and darker. If you like darker films, this one was very, very dark. I loved it, man. I loved it. It was so nice. I haven't been so like hyped over a movie since I think Talk to Me came out. So this one was great. Oh my God. Where do I start? Okay. So what is she? This foster mom in this movie. I don't know who the hell she is. Like, I recognize her, but I can't pinpoint like who the hell she was. Let me just tell you right now, like, her freaking performance in this movie blew me away, because I fucking hated her. Like, I was so damn uncomfortable watching this movie the entire dang time. And that's kind of another reason why I love it so much. It's like, you know, it's a good performance whenever you personally like feel something, you know what I mean? It brings out some type of feeling in you. And her performance was just so fucking just, I don't know. I hated her. I hated her in a good way. Like, she did it really good. And I had like secondhand embarrassment a lot of this. I think the last time I watched the movie where I had like secondhand embarrassment was the bathtub scene in Creep. Okay. Or even McAvoy's scene in, was it Speak No Evil? You had like, I had secondhand embarrassment in that movie. But damn, it was dark, man. There was this weird shit going on, and it was scary. Like, it was great. I would definitely, 10 out of 10, man. This movie was amazing in my opinion. It's going to be hard to top that one, I feel like. Yeah, instant fan. So me and my husband and my daughter, we got together and I asked them how they thought about these movies if they was to put them in order. And me and my husband both agreed that we enjoyed Bring Her Back being first place, then Until Dawn, and then Final Destination Bloodlines. My daughter was different though. She enjoyed Until Dawn first, and then Final Destination Bloodlines, and then Bring Her Back, because she said that Bring Her Back was just too scary for her. All right, guys, so that was it. My opinion on the 3 movies. I'd love to know what you guys thought about it. Of course, please, nobody take offense. If you didn't like a certain movie, I understand that, you know. I'm not trying to defend any of them. It's just solely my opinion on it. I do feel like there's just so much negativity when it comes to movies that really, people don't speak out a lot when it comes to something they actually like. They're quick to jump on something they don't like. You know what I mean? So I feel like Until Dawn really wasn't quite as bad as it seems like everybody's making it out to be. But then again, I am like usually the minority that likes certain movies, you know, that everyone else hates. So, Yeah, it is what it is. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.